Hi, welcome to the 7th tutorial in the Make Wordle with Python tutorial series. In this tutorial, we're going to just fix one little hiccup from the last tutorial, and then we're going to map out the logic we're going to need so that we can start adding our incorrectly placed letters using the color yellow. Last time we successfully mapped out our correct letters in green and everything else in gray. So we're going to start working on the logic for that, and that'll take a whole tutorial just to map out that logic. First of all, though, we want to get our guesses to print on the next line. So I suggest that after our for loop here, this loop here, outside of the loop, we'll just add a print statement. Sorry, there we go. Open close parenthesis, and if we do this now, and we guess. Now our new guesses come on the next line, which is maybe a better behavior. I like it better, and you can obviously leave it however you want. So I'm going to hit Control-C to just exit there, and we'll move on. So up here, if I've already done this, and I don't know if I had mentioned this to you, but go ahead and just force the word to be error, because we're gonna make some use of that. I'm going to make a big comment here, triple quotes. And everything inside I can write on new lines, and it'll also remain a comment in our code. So we're going to assume that the word is error, and then we're going to map out behaviors for different guesses based on what our expectation is if the game is proceeding correctly, and what would happen to the screen. And the approach that I'm going to teach here is that we will take the word, we will remove any correctly placed letters from our guess and create a word where those correctly placed letters have been removed. This leaves us with a word without correctly placed letters that we can then test to see, are there any letters in our guess that are still in the word where we've removed the correctly placed letters. If that sounds really convoluted, it should make more sense if you'll stick with me. And that's why we're going to map it out here so that we can see firsthand what we're going to do. So we'll say that the true word is going to be error, if we spell it correctly. And then our method is going to be to remove correctly placed letters. Okay? And loop through twice. All right, you'll see why in shortly, hopefully. So let's assume, all right, first guess we'll say is arrow. It's a pretty good guess. So the word arrow goes to it's supposed to be error, and so the word, our guess will change. It would be A, three spaces, and then W. We have 3 correctly placed letters, and so I'll put it in a pipe. Our word would look like this: E space 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 R. Okay, we have 3 correctly placed letters from arrow in the word error. And that's our first pass. All right, if our next guess was the word break, then we would have B space, the R in break is correct, E-A-K. And in the actual word, it would look like E space R-O-R. First pass, okay? And we can see that remaining in our guess word is the letter E, and the letter E shows up in our actual word. So we should end up with this word where the E is yellow. All right. So E should print yellow. All right. We're just mapping that out to to keep our expectations correct. Now I haven't I haven't forced us to guess real words or to even guess 5-letter words. So if we guess something exotic like R R R R R, I think the joke is that maybe we're a pirate. Then the correctly placed letters would, our guess would look like this: R space space R space. And if I put a pipe there, pipe. And then our guess would look like E space space O space. Okay? So first pass. And so in the word without the correctly placed letters, there's no R's remaining, even though we have 2 R's over here. So both R's should be gray. That's the behavior we want for the game that works correctly. If we did a guess that was RRRRX, then our guess would change to R space space RX. And our word without correctly placed letters would look like E space space OR. And so in our first pass, in our guess, we have 2 remaining R's, and in the word with the correctly placed letters removed, we have an R, which means that this first R here, we want the first R to be yellow, but the second R should be gray. Okay, 1 yellow R, 1 gray R. And those are all the guesses I'm going to consider. All right? So this gives us a pretty complete set of behaviors because we're using a special word that has 3 instances of a single letter in it. And we're using a bunch of special cases where some of the letters are correct, some of the letters are incorrect, and some of the letters that are incorrect or correct are the same letter repeated. So this is, again, I think this covers all the bases we want to cover, and we now have a good expectation for the behavior we want. So in the next tutorial, we'll set this up so that we start to print yellow letters and test to make sure that our logic is correct. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.